Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. This is Naaman with the DC Camp, a branch of Great Millstone. Back for another video. But first and foremost, call hello Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kahabradash. Alright. Once again, double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Well, I'd like to also send out salutations to the fellow Akim that are out there on the highways and byways. Alright. Week in and week out there trying to wake up our people, tell them who they are according to the scriptures. And um, the prophecies. This is all about the prophecies, all right, according to the scriptures, not our words, all right, and to the few aquath that just happen to view, continue to study, all right, salutations to you also. Also, the numerous amounts of videos that are uploaded and therefore go out over the airwaves, all right, further assisting the waking up of our people. All right, this is what we're about here. This video I'm going to address, I'm just now getting to this after a week or so. This video here, close to 1,000 people, and this is just a snippet of, longer videos, but I want to keep this brief, as brief as possible. People trapped, close to 1,000 people trapped on Mount Everest seeking rescue. Why? Why? And let's be real, this is people who, people who are of means, that have the resources to do this. I guess for some it's a bucket list thing. But, come on, this is getting into the foolish, uh, uh, it just is. Why? You know the dangers. You all, because as you can see to my right here, it says live, hundreds rescued after snowstorm traps nearly 1,000. So for the most part, they got out. They got lucky. Because what if this storm had have lasted for days, weeks, whatever have you? And come to find out that a lot of the times, well, most of the time now, I don't know when they started this, but the bodies are left up there because it's a matter of people going to retrieve those bodies end up being a part of the landscape, all right? Uh, and it's not worth it. So they use those bodies as landmarks. Yeah, that's some pretty cold shit, pun intended. All right, yeah, can't blame them there. But why? And this goes to a certain people because they're always doing dumb shit like this. Well, let's just call it what it is, foolish shit like this. To prove what? And again, this is scriptural because we're talking about a certain people. All right. And I've got, wow. We've got to go to the scriptures because you know who we're talking about here. Let's go. Let's go. We have got to go to Job. Job told you who these foolish people were. All right. This is Job chapter 30, verse 1, and it says, "But now they that are younger than I have me in derision." What is derision? And this is something that even to this day, they know that they have Jake. Let's get Strong's H7832 to laugh in pleasure or detraction at our situation. This is what they've done to us, all right? And I just, uh, you saw when I first fired this up, it was on Psalms 83rd chapter. Again, the connection there because they tried to make sure that we as a people would never wake up, all right? And all that they've got since the time of the Renaissance when these bastards came out of the caves this time, all right? All that they've got is at our expense. Yeah, think about it. Northern and Southern Kingdom. I always say Northern Kingdom gets it first. In this case, they did. They did it during the time of the Assyrian captivity. They got it first, and Judah got it second. All right, with the Neo-Babylonian Empire, and then it happened again during the Renaissance. And these Edomites, these so-called white people, came back into power. That's the revived Roman Empire. That's Revelation chapter 20 there. All right, and this is what they've been doing ever since. More prophecies being fulfilled. All right. It says, but now we know who they are now. Let's continue on in the, let's see, by implication, to play, deride, have a derision, laugh, make merry, and they do. That's Revelation 11th chapter, verses 7 on down. All right, make merry, mock, rejoice, and they are rejoicing at our low estate, but they're falling out of power now. This is a good thing. It says that I have me that have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. And they are known to what? And zoophilia and bestiality. All right, that's what they like to engage in. Uh, I'm not going to tell that story, but yeah, I think you get the picture. 2, yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished? For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former times desolate and waste, who cut up mallows for the bushes, and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men, they cried after them as after a thief, because they're a bunch of murderers, idolaters, raping, any, because they are the wicked. That's why it's talking about them being driven. All right, well, you got Mount Seir. Of course, they drove out the Hamites, the Horites, all right, and took over Mount Seir. And after that, they were driven up into the Caucasus Mountains, all right, because of their ways. And that continues to this day. They can't help themselves. All right, to dwell in the cliffs, another clue, of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. I kind of got ahead of myself there, but it says, among the bushes they braid, the classic caveman image, think of that. Under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. Base men, what is it talking about? Failure, that is. Strong's H1097. Nothing obstruction, usually with preposition without, not yet, because not. Now let's get the other one. Strong's H 8034. Let's see. Appellation, is it memorial individuals by implication, authority, and character. Base. Let's see, base. Let's see. Let's go to the. Let's see. Not baseman, a base man. Let's see. Oh, no. Not. Let's see. No. Let's see. Let's just get the base. All right. The lowest part or edge of something, especially the part on which it rests or is supported. All right. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Cambridge. Let's see what it says here. right. Let's see. Let's try. Let's try dictionary.com. See if we get some synonyms. Majority of you know what I'm getting at here, but just in case. And they are. The let's see. All right. Let's see. Come on, just crap. Let's see. Let's see. Let's try. Oh, here we go. As an adjective, morally low, without estimable personal qualities. I think Hebrews 12. Let's go there real quick. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Got the wrong one. Sorry. Let's go to Hebrews. All right. Because it just told you there they were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. All right. These, as punishment, this is who was put over us. When you go to Genesis 3rd and 4th chapter, this is who we're talking about. Those characteristics talking about a man. It's not talking about a actual snake. It's talking about a snake in the sense of a low life, someone that's a con man, a flim flam man. And this is what they do. You have to hang on every word they say because it's usually, they used to using uh, uh, what they call it, $1,000 words or whatever have you, and it throws people. Oh, they're so articulate. No, he's a deceiver and a liar by nature. All right, this is Hebrews 12, and this ties into the blessings and the curses also. But I'm gonna start at 6 because they claim to be those people. They occupy the Holy Land. And actually, they're the fulfilling of prophecy, but not in the way that they say they are. No, that's actually Ezekiel 36 chapter. All right, it goes into about them celebrating that they have uh, the ancient landmarks in their possession, such as uh, the land of Israel and such, and it tells you that. This is Hebrews 12 and 6. For whom the Most High loveth, he chasteneth. Are they being chastened? Are they being punished? No, they do whatever they want. Kill 67,000 people in front of everybody. Nobody's doing anything to them because they have the preeminence now, as was Job 9 and 24 tells you. All right. For whom the Most High loveth, he chasteneth. We're the ones being chastened. We're the ones being, all right, punished. All right. Because of who we are. And it's going to tell you here. And scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. If he endure chastening, all right, it's going to that chastening. Strong's G3809. All right, these law, statutes, commandments are given to us, all right, as a guide, not to everyone in the world, certainly not them. All right, tutors, that is, education or training, by implication, disciplinary correction, chastening, chastisement, instruction, nurture. All right, and for that, we go all the way back to Deuteronomy, second book of the law. All right, and verse 4 tells you what? Moses commands obedience. All right, it says, now therefore, verse 1, hearken, O Israel. Does that say everybody on the earth? No. Unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you, for to do them, that ye may live under that tutelage, and go and possess the land which the Most High Yahweh, our God, the God of your fathers, giveth you. Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of the Most High, your God, which I command you. Your eyes have seen what the Most High Yahweh did because of Baal Peor. For all the men that followed Baal Peor, the Most High thy God hath destroyed them from among you. But ye that did cleave unto the Most High your God are alive, every one of you this day. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Most High thy God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. But what do we do as we go throughout all this and go to the 28th chapter? Now, 7th chapter tells you what? 7 and 6 says a chosen people. All right. And it tells you, verse 6, all right, that we are supposed to be an holy people unto the Most High. Holy means what? Separate. All right. But as punishment, what happened to us? We were scattered amongst the heathen. All right. He said, hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So with Moses here, it got so bad. All right. Because Israelites, we started doing, of course, the opposite. And here is chapter 28. All right. And it tells you blessings for obedience. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High thy God, to observe to do all his commandments which I command thee this day. I just read you chapter 4, that the Most High thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy God. But what happened? So as we go down here to 15, all right, it says curses for disobedience. And from 16 to 68 is what we're going through. And this is the reason. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. All right. And when you get down to the reason I read Hebrews 12th chapter. All right. Get down here to 40. Now this one here, thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee. Nigger, coon, jigaboo. All right. Tar baby. Whatever you want to call it. That those proverbs and bywords. All right. And then it goes on down here when you get into the 40s. The stranger, 43, that is within thee, all these immigrants and everybody else that comes over here, they're all of a sudden above us. That's because we're being corrected. We're being, as the verse has said, all right, within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, all right, and thou shalt be the tail. And moreover, it says these curses, here's my point, shall be upon thee, all right, and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not to the voice of the Most High, all right, to keep his commandments and statutes which he commanded thee. And what? They shall be upon thee for a sign. We're the ones going through all of this, not them. They own all the banks. In other words, they have preeminence in this world. That was not to happen. Again, these curses would identify our people wherever they are, because we were scattered abroad. And wherever we are at the bottom. And these curses are a mark upon us. All right. It says, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever, until they are taken off. Why? Because thou servest not, as verse 47 says, the Most High thy God with joyfulness and with a gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. And I said that, all of that, to say this. It's identifying who's who. All right? All these scriptures say we're not supposed to do simple shit like this. We don't do that, go jumping off of mountains and things. But it tells you in Genesis 25th chapter, with Esau, Jacob's brother, he was a man of the field. His characteristics, I had it, oh man, I just not thought of it. There was an article I was reading once it identified, because it tells you, let's go there, in Genesis 25, it says, Jake is a plain man, not plain as in, I always say Urkel from the show, you know. No, it means, here we go. This is the birth of Jacob and Esau. All right, and it goes to give you the characteristics in verse 27. It says, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter. Clue, ding, 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 ding. A man of the field, and Jacob, the opposite, was a plain man. Another clue. And as a descriptor, it tells you what? The first came out red all over, like in hairy garment, and they called his name Esau, which in the Hebrew is Ashashua, which means what? Wasted away is he. All right? What was wasted away? Why was not Jacob described? Because Jacob looked like everybody else. A dark-skinned man. But what's wasted away on Edom, or on Esau here, and thus his nation, his descendants, is what? No pigment. That's a curse. All right? And the, what is it, Exodus, let's see. Is it 25 and 5? Hold on. Let's see. Let's see. 20, hold on. Let's go to Exodus 25. I said Genesis. Exodus 25 and 5 real quick. Because it's a metaphor. Let's see. Simile. In this case, let's go metaphor. Exodus 25 and 5. And ram skins dyed red, and badger skins and shittim. It's giving you an example of, or as comparison, as I said metaphorically, as what they used to do with dyeing ram skins, dyed red. All right. So that's what it's letting you know. And then, of course, to put the icing on the cake, so to speak, what was his blessing? All right. It goes on to say, and Esau, you need to read this chapter for yourself, said unto his father, because there's a lot of, I just will say anger when Edomite, so-called white people, bring this up. All right, they'll say, well, Jacob stole the birthright. No, Esau sold his birthright to his brother. All right. It says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And I'm giving you all this background to show you who we're dealing with, who we've been dealing with, and why that hatred is there between our peoples. Verse 40, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And this is where, after, because King David really hated these people, all right, actually, Israel in general did, because of, you know, King Saul and all that. So Saul didn't do what he was supposed to do, all right. It says in Isaac, he said, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. I went back to this because it's important. meaning all the best. Does he not? Is that not what he has? All the best land, all the everything, the best of everything, because he runs the world. Again, Job 9:24, and of the dew of heaven from above. How did he get that? By thy sword. It's parabolic speech. Everybody had to go to the so-called white man to learn his technology. Everybody. That's his blessing, especially when it comes to war. His weapons supersede everything. It's right in front of your face, always has been. How do you think it got that way? This is why. That's why you're not going to beat him taking this route. All right, now I gave you all that background. Say this, these people, all right, at the end of the day, they're fools. What does it say? Dishonorable, mean-spirited, selfish, cowardly. You bomb a people. You're in Florida somewhere. You're maneuvering drones over there in Western Asia somewhere. Synonyms: contemptible, despicable, and they are. When you learn the real reason, even though Hitler was one of them, but you just got to put it out there. The Weimar Republic, I think I said that right. After World War I over there in Germany, early 20s, when Mein Kampf was written, what do you think that was about? He was complaining about these same people that were ruining his country, and they spend that to their advantage. Remember, Patton at the end of World War II was talking about, well, we defeated the wrong enemy. And there's a lot of, and then days later he was killed in an automobile accident. And a lot of people said that was a setup. Just putting that out there. Of little or no value, worthless. A little worth. All right, and they are. Synonyms: tawdry, cheap, inferior, poor, debased, or counterfeit. These are the people you're dealing with. These are the people that are over you, fake. Zechariah 9:6, as in the word bastard. When you read that, who's over there in that land now? Bastards, frauds. All right. Characteristic of or befitting an inferior person or thing. Synonyms: menial, lowly, ignoble, humble. The Bauer family, which became the Rothschilds. Bauer means servant. Of illegitimate birth. All right. These are the people that are over us now. All right. So let's go back to the main thing here. Whoops. And let's play this video. These people up here, they're fools. You pay all this money. I've heard up to around $100,000 per to suffer like this, to potentially die. You're paying for your own demise. What, for the thrill? And you end up losing some fingers or whatever have you. That is, if you're lucky, really. Here we go.
Efforts to rescue hundreds of trekkers stranded on the eastern face of Mount Everest in Tibet are continuing. A sudden blizzard left over 550 people stranded, but according to Chinese state media, more than half of them been guided safely to the small township of Kudang. CCTV also reported that contact has been made with the remaining 200-plus trekkers still on the mountain. This eyewitness footage shows people camping and wading through knee-deep snow in poor visibility. Unusually heavy snow and rainfall have pummeled the Himalayas in recent days. It's coincided with an 8-day National Day holiday in China, meaning visitor numbers to the remote Karma Valley were high. This footage was filmed by a hiker who was guided to safety on Sunday. He says the conditions deteriorated suddenly and that his guide told him that such weather was not normal for this time of year. This is what the Karma Valley looks like normally, and is where the remaining 200 hikers are believed to still be stranded. According to reports from CCTV, it is expected that they will arrive in Kudang in stages, with rescue operations organised by the local government. Although it remains unclear if local guides and support staff of the trekking parties had all been accounted for.
Let's play the other one.
It's the crown jewel of the world, a place where the sky meets the earth, a symbol of human endurance and nature's raw power. Every year, Mount Everest draws hundreds of adventurers and trekkers to its majestic yet unforgiving slopes. But what unfolded last weekend was not a dream realized. It was a nightmare descended from the sky. And Everest reminded us who's truly in control. On October 4th, a powerful blizzard swept across the eastern face of Mount Everest in Tibet, trapping hundreds of trekkers in its path. At the time, nearly 1,000 hikers, guides and support staff were stationed in the area. Many of them were in tents when the conditions rapidly deteriorated. They were all trapped at an altitude of nearly 5,000 meters, halfway up the world's highest peak, which rises to a total of 8,849 meters. By October 7th, some of the stranded had safely been evacuated. But in Nepal, a South Korean climber died near the summit of Mera Peak, south of Everest. The blizzard started on October 3rd in the Karma Valley and intensified dramatically on the 4th, pummeling the Himalayas with unusually heavy snow and rain. The focus of the immediate crisis was tourist campsites situated on a slope in Tibet, specifically near the eastern face of Everest. The Karma Valley is a relatively pristine part of Everest. It was first explored by Western travelers a century ago. The valley lies at an altitude of 4,200 meters. Last year, it received more than 540,000 tourists. The blizzard blocked roads and trails, immediately cutting off access to the hikers who were staying in tents at an altitude of more than 4,800 meters. The danger was compounded by the fact that the snowstorm struck during the Golden Week. It's a period of 8 holidays in which both locals and tourists alike travel to the mountains. Bad weather prompted the local tourism company to suspend ticket sales and entry to the Everest area. The cold and the wet environment presented a dire medical threat. Hypothermia was a real risk. Some hikers were already suffering from it. Dozens of hikers were escorted to a meeting point, given food, medicine, heating, and oxygen. Conditions on the mountain were nothing short of brutal. Trekkers recounted enduring miserable and life-threatening circumstances.
On the one hand, even our team leaders underestimated the difficulties. There wasn't much of a contingency plan, no real plan B. In my home region in the south, it's still...
See, you pay all this money, you mean tell me you don't even have a plan B? Wow.
about 30 degrees Celsius in October, so no one expected such heavy snow. Even locals said they hadn't seen snowfall like this in over 10 years. Our equipment wasn't prepared for it. Snow gear can handle an hour or two, maybe, but after hiking for 10 straight hours, it just can't hold up. Some people had gear worth several thousand yuan, but even that wasn't enough. In moments like this, you truly realize how small...
Yeah, they thought they were, smart. Predict the weather. No, this is the Most High show. And all of you could have been just wiped out. And you should see the videos of people that have just been roasting these people,
humans are in the face of nature.
The crisis triggered one of the largest and most complex search and rescue operations Everest has ever seen. As emergency workers,
I mean, that's enough of that. So we go from one extreme to the other. Now, for those of you who don't know, a couple of years ago, I guess it's been, you had a bunch of yahoos that wanted to go down and see the Titanic. You know, the cruise ship that sank in 1912, April of 1912. All right, after it was said that they boasted that God himself couldn't sink it. Okay, let's see. We already did that. Here we go. So this submersible went down there with 5 people. I think they charged $250,000 per. All right, and you're looking at around, was it 12,000 feet? It may say it here. Hold, no, that's the music. Let's see. Talking about this way better run out. Well, I mean, well, let's just run. It's telling you because it didn't explode, it imploded, meaning all the ocean came in and all that pressure. All right, they say it's telling you here that this only happened in 20 milliseconds. That's how quick it happened. That doesn't it doesn't mean these people didn't experience terror. All right, let's keep going. Because you had to, and this is just, you know, feel the stresses on that hull that low. All right, all that pressure exerting itself on that before this happened. So you had to be wondering, like, oh shit, what if? All right. It says brain pain response 150 milliseconds. So what they're saying here is he probably didn't have time to process. All right. Adiabatic compression results in 50 kilogram of TNT explosion. Damn. They're saying that's how long it took. Nowhere to go. And that red stuff you see is what happened to the bodies. Nothing left for a funeral. Literally just fish food. Hebrews 10:31. Fish food. That eyeball floating on the That's why, here's another one. That's why during the press conference.
Its joint protection prevents finger hyperextension. But Artus does more than just protection.
That's why during the press conference, someone asked the question, what about retrieving the bodies? And the guy had a look on his face like, oh, he wanted to say something else, you know. I think I had heard one time years ago about submariners. They're having some type of poison pill to take in the event that this was likely to happen. Hey, I don't know if it's true or not, but I can believe it. All that pressure. And I do believe, let's see if I can get my math. I believe underwater you're talking about 1 atmosphere per 33 foot. Let's see. Hold on. I don't even have a calculator on this thing. I do it in front of you. Let's see. Yeah, that's something I got to do. All right, let's see. So, at 12,467 feet, right? It's hard to find a simple click. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Clear everything out. Let's see. See. Wow. Yep, fish food. Again, it's in the scriptures. Let's go to Hebrews first and I'll finish it off. Matthew. Alright, let's go to Matthew. Hebrews 10. 31. Alright. It says, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of a living God. Alright. But you want to go out there, balls to the wall, and this is how you do it. You got some jakes that take on that, you know, because they want to please master. All right, let's face it, that's all it is. Oh, I didn't go to I forgot. But again, being Jacob, I'm talking about Genesis 25. Jake being a plain man, meaning he was complete. He was perfect. All right. You know, he didn't need to do all this. The temptation of Yahweh Shah. Let's see. The temptation to him, he said, if thou be the son of Most High, command, you know, it says, let's see, it's written, he shall give his angels charge. All right. And it says, this is Yahweh Shah's response. Let me read 6. And saith unto him, if thou be, this is, of course, Satan, you know, the tempter, and saith unto him, he take him to a high place. You read this for yourself, Matthew 4th chapter. If thou be the son of Most High, cast thyself down, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. And Yahushua responded, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Most High Yahweh thy God. Let's go into that tempt. Strong's G1598. All right. To test. Thirdly, who are you to test? Who are we to test the Most High? Exactly. All right, so we're gonna end it on that. Yeah, that's a hell of a way to go. Both of them, really. Again, because this is you actually doing it to yourself. You know. Well, I climb it because it's there. That doesn't mean because it's there you got it. Wow. I mean, but this guy has been looked at. You know, this is every woman's desire. This caveman, and at the end of the day, he's a fool. There's really nothing worse to be called. A fool. I mean, they pulled one hell of a mind game on the world. They deceived the whole world, as the scripture said, Revelation 20. From the time of the Renaissance, when these people came out of the caves, came back into power. Again, this is prophecy. But people are waking up now. That's the good thing. And we're happy to say through Yahweh Shah and the Holy Spirit that we aided in helping to wake up some people. Of course, that scripture where we just plant that seed and watering and the growth, paraphrasing, is up to Yahweh Shah. All right. But that's going to be it on this. Gross as it is, I apologize, but it needed to be said. You know. So with that, once again, I hope everybody who views this video has been edified. That's what we do here at Great Millstone. And once again, hopefully, all right, you will remain circumspect out here. Keep your head on a swivel, because it's only going to get worse. So with that, until the next video, hey, shalom.